What's up YouTube, it's Matt here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the state of rental property investing, just my thoughts on the whole market of investing in real estate heading into the fall and winter months of this year, 2022. As we all know, there are a lot of news that we are heading into a recession, essentially meaning that we have 2 consecutive quarters where GDP is down. So technically that means we're in a recession, but it may not necessarily feel like we're in a recession because, you still have your job, you're still making money, property values are not too much down, everything is relatively the same. But I think there has been a shift in the real estate market and prices still haven't 100% adjusted to this shift in the market. And so today I'm actually going to share with you all my rental property that I just bought. I talked about it before on this channel. I'm going to share my screen with you all and share the income and expenses report for the past month. I bought this property May 31st. That's when I closed of this year. And so I have a full month of owning this property, looking at the income, looking at the expenses, and then I'm going to break that down. And while I'm talking about it, I'm just going to share my thoughts on the market, because one thing that is making it difficult for people to get started in real estate investing coming into this recession, coming into the fall and winter months when real estate is usually a little bit slower than in the summer months, is that people are now looking at interest rates and house prices are still relatively high. And so you have home values high and you have this interest rate. And so how can you even buy a property either to live in for yourself or rent out? And so a lot of people are now renting. And so I was blessed to find this property for sale by owner online, and I actually got a different, lower price than what it was listed for. I talk about it in that video, so make sure you look to my channel to watch that video, the price and everything. I'll talk a little bit about it while I'm sharing my screen. Yeah, those are some of my thoughts, and I think now more than ever, if you want a rental property, you should get it now, because even though the Fed is increasing interest rate and that should lower home values, I don't think it's going to be as low as it was pre-pandemic levels, right? Your house is not going to drop 50% just because they raise the rates to 6-7% by the end of this year. And so you're still dealing with relatively higher price properties. If you find a deal right now and the numbers work for you, jump on it, because we don't know, we can get into a period where everything is high, interest rates are high and property values are high, and you're forced to rent. You don't want to be the renter, you want to be the person who actually owns the house that rents out to people, right? And so that's why I'm saying, take the opportunity just to still buy a house, because we don't know, even though they are raising interest rates, we don't know about home values, where it's going to go. So right now I'm going to share my screen with you all, just show the different things that I'm dealing with this property and talk a little bit about the numbers. All right, you all, so I have this spreadsheet right here. The cover is rental home financials. I got this from an Etsy account. I just Google search rental properties income expenses worksheet or spreadsheet, and I like this one. I saw the other free ones, like Zillow has a decent one, but this one I can add properties into, I can put different channels. Let's say I'm getting Airbnb, let's say I'm getting short-term rental income or other sort of income other than just regular rental income. I can put it there, and I can customize my expense categories and other things like that. So this property is property 1. This is the rental income. It's crazy because I closed on this property the 31st and rent was due the next day, June 1st. And so this is the day I actually deposited, but I collected it on June 1st. It was $950 a month on each side, so that's $1,900. I raised the rent. I told them even before I bought the property, I met with the tenants. I said, hey, I'm raising the rents $45 on each side, which is relatively still good. It's not over market price. It's still relatively at market, maybe a little bit lower, and they're still getting a great deal. They spend $995 each side, so that gives me $1,990. So it's crazy because I know I didn't technically, because I closed on the property and the very next day I received rental income before my first mortgage payment was due. My first mortgage payment was due July 1st. I collected rent before that, so it was kind of nice. It kind of seemed like I had an extra payday because I didn't have to pay in June, because technically I paid when I closed on the property. You know, they take money out and stuff. I didn't really exactly see, but this is where I entered the income. If there's other sort of income, you can add them in, just be rental income. So this is where you see, and this, they're really big on Airbnb, this spreadsheet. So I just put it on extra charge, like my rental income. And then my expenses for this past month. So I put the mortgage up here. I paid it July 8th. So it's $1,000. That's my mortgage payment. And so the property, I got it down. It was $180,000. It ended up being $183,600 because I added the agent fee within the price, so I can just pay it over time. Honestly, I didn't want to bring out more money for the down payment. So as you all can see, just looking at the mortgage and my income, so I pay $1,000 essentially, and I essentially get $2,000 for rent. That's pretty decent. Now, I did have to put 25% down. I did that just by saving for quite some time, doing wholesaling, doing YouTube and things like that. So it took me a while to save up that amount of money, and that wiped out a good chunk of my savings. But I didn't want to keep saving cash in my bank because I'm just hearing from like people I look up to, like, don't keep cash in your bank. Yes, I have an emergency fund, right, where I can live 6 months if all my income sources go away. I live frugally, and I live in the South in an area where it's okay as a single person to not have a high living expense. So that was on July 8th that I paid it. And then I had some maintenance. I had to call some people to check out this plumbing because on the inspection report it said the water pressure was high. So I had like 2 people come out and look. One person said that the pressure wasn't high. So I didn't have to pay anything, but I did have to replace the faucet, and they were going to charge me a service call fee. So I just had them just do the whole thing. And so that was $150, and the service cost fee was $80. There was an issue with the AC, so I paid $100 for that. And then it's crazy because I may have to pay something else now. These are old AC units, and I knew that coming in, so I have a warranty that I did put money on, or I paid recently, but I'm not gonna put it in my expenses. I count it as a capital expenditure because when I calculated like how much this property would cost, I put aside like $10,000 that I'm going to pay over time towards capital expenditures. I'm putting a new door in tomorrow. Actually, I'm going to put gutters in next month, and I bought this warranty plan that was like $850. That was something I had to do. And then I bought AC filters and stuff like that. And I kind of have notes right here. When I first went to Ace, I just brought their super branded one, 3M brand. That was just mad expensive. It was better quality, and then I bought 2 more, just Ace brand, and that too was just $15. So those were my expenses somewhere in June. Well, all of these were in June except the mortgage payment. Right here, we look at this tab, it shows my income. So my income in June was $1,900, and then in July, $1,990. And then my expenses in June was $369. That was all those maintenance things that you guys saw. And then in July, so far, just my mortgage payment. But I may be having to service this freaking AC again because like the warranty doesn't cover service line, and there's an issue with the refrigerant line of the AC. So just gonna check that out. So yeah, that's going on. And then overall profit, they have this tab right here, and it shows that for in June, since I didn't have a mortgage payment due in June, my profit was $1,531. And then in July, so far it's $986. That's definitely going lower. I'm going to have to pay a few things, other things like that. So right now, this is not including my capital expenditures, which I know it doesn't make sense, but like I said, I put some money aside. I just want to look at the operation, the day-to-day, because yeah, I'm putting a new door in that's going to cost me altogether maybe like $400 for a steel door. But I knew that going in. Right now, my overall profit without capital expenditures or anything like that is $2,500 for owning this property almost 2 months, which is pretty good. It's a blessing for sure. These are my expenses. This is my profit from this property. It's my overall profit. Yeah, my overall expense, my overall. And per property, where you can change your, got more properties, you can even add years to it. So I really like that on this. That's my first full month with this and partial month. So yeah, I hope you all video, if you all have the opportunity to purchase a rental property, buy one. If something works right now, buy this quote by Warren Buffett that I read recently. Don't pass up something that's today because you think you will find something better tomorrow. That's deep. It's like, hey, don't anticipate prices falling dramatically in the real estate market. If something works for you right now, get it, because overall things go up. You're not going to be too worried that you didn't wait a little bit longer to get at a lower price, you know? Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you're gonna try to invest in your first rental property. What is your opinions on the state of the market and everything like that? All right, talk to you all later.